pretty soon, Steve. Stop switching your name around so much. Couldn't you? Hell, you're not doing the world any good here. You're really setting the world back a bit because now you own Johnny Rambo. If somebody else with the name John wants to have John Rambo, they're going to have John Rambo 1. That's not fair, Steve. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I forgive you. I know Rambo. They're all great movies. Yeah. Here we go. On my end of things, playing Mass Effect, I have the ultimate weapons now. And I've got $999 million to spend, so I can buy whatever I want. I'm going to buy one of everything.
Good for that. What's up? Playing a game. You what? Did you just say you cut up your ID? Okay, you know if you were walking and you get stopped by the police, and you don't have an identification card. They don't. No, don't take you to jail. You get a ticket. I mean, they could take you to jail. I mean, depending on the situation. I don't know if you're drunk or something. Depending, but what I am going to say is just like you're supposed to keep
They
that
don't
on you.
just let you go.
No, they'll let you. No, they'll give you a ticket. Regardless, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to get a ticket. But I'm just going to say, like, at the end of the day, it's like you're supposed to have your ID, like, especially if you're of age.
Yeah.
But okay, so but the thing is, so if I'm a cop, so I'm supposed to just go off of what you say, like what's your name? You get what I'm saying? Like you need some type of identification on you. I mean, yeah, you can try to. You can.
Totally logical. That's
What
totally logical. Because if I snuck myself across the border and I came down to visit Steve, and if I was out on the street walking around making trouble, and I just said, "Oh, my name's Mark Van Dersen, and I live over there, and I don't have any ID," should they just let me walk away?
No, they're okay. So okay, no, listen. All right, listen, listen, guys, listen. First off, first off, listen. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's an government state ID. The first thing you're missing is it's a government state ID. You are in the United States. You are an employee of the United States. You are supposed to what as an employee have what? An identification on you. So doesn't mean if you drive or not. Cause bro, I before I even drove or anything, I walked around, and especially if I'm walking late at night, probable cause. A cop can have probable cause for any reason to pull you over. You have to have an ID on you, or they will detain you until they and let me like I said, the whole thing is that having ID is just to make sure that I identify you. If you got killed or anything like that, how the fuck are we gonna do ID? How is the cop gonna ID you? That means they're gonna have to sit through a whole process instead of like having an ID on a person. Like you do you think it's funny, like Griffin? This is why I can't have like a civil conversation. I'm like, bro, that your logic to breaking your ID to make any fucking sense whatsoever.
Of course you do, Steve.
Oh my God, Griffin, how are you gonna open up an account? If you went to a bank, how are you gonna show? You need to show identification there. Like you don't see the logic in that. And then like if you're going to, I don't know, open up a bank, buy anything, they're gonna need some identification. Like if you're especially let's say for example, if you wanted to buy a gun, I'm not, I know you wouldn't, but if you want to, you need to show ID. Like Griffin, I know. I'm just using that as a anyways, and then like certain things, like let's say for example, if you needed to buy, let's say if you because you work out and stuff, there's certain things that you have to be of age to buy. Like let's say for example, there's like a new. I'm using. I'm just okay, but that's okay. But the whole thing that I think that's see, the right thing is to like. Oh my God, Griffin! It's the whole thing. That's why like your ID there on your ID there's an expiration date. When that date happens, then you get to change that picture over time. That's the whole point of that. Like Griffin, like whatever, bro. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna just put you on the soft mute because you're just gonna keep on talking more about it. So I'm just gonna put you on the soft mute.
They don't like to have to make phone calls just to verify your identification, Steve. You're going to piss them off. One thing you don't want to piss off the cops when they're talking to you. We should. They've got a fucking hard job, man. Don't fight me. They've got a fucking lousy job to do, man. I wouldn't want it. If I had to be a cop for a day, there'd be a lot of dead fucking bodies laying around, I'll tell you that. And nobody's gonna thank me for it. I'd rather just shoot somebody than argue it out with them. And it sounds like you'd be one of the first to go, Steve. I'm almost not joking, you know. We're not coming on to you. We're not trying to teach you the lessons of life or anything here, Steve. Just, you know, I don't know, the subject came up, I don't know where it came from, but here we are. Well, it is something to be understood. It's very important.
Hey, yo, Mark.
Well, Steve, right now right now while we're talking, Steve, one night I wasn't doing it wrong, but I was doing something suspicious. Where I work, at the shop, at the garage where I work, I kept my camper, the pickup truck camper. I had it on a trailer, and it sat behind the shop for years. I had it plugged into the electricity, and I was even considering running a hose at water. Okay, get the picture. All right, well, I came home one night after helping one of my friends doing work on some trucks and trailers in another parking lot somewhere. And when I come home like at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning, the gate across the driveway to lead back behind the garage, there was a driveway, and it had a gate across. Okay? Well, the people who used to park their trucks back there was different outfits. There was Mike Hurley with his business. I don't know what he was doing, remember, but they parked trucks back there. And I come back to the shop because I was going to stay overnight instead of driving home. I've told you I've got a long drive home, right? So I was going to come back to the camper. And the gate is locked. No problem. I've got a key. Yeah, right. I go up there and they've changed the fucking lock. They changed the lock while I was out gone. And I don't have a key for it. So I said, fuck this, I'm not leaving my car parked out in front of the shop. I might as well car. So I said, fuck that. So I get out. So I get over to and I try lifting the gate off of the hinges, because I made that gate. I made the fucking thing. You know how usually the pins for a gate, one of them is turned up and the other one is turned down so that it can come off? Well, I put them both facing up so that if at any time it needed to be taken off, it could be taken off. But that fucking thing weighs like 200 pounds, man. And it's been, I don't know, 10 years there, and it did not want to come off easy. So I got my car jack out of the back of the car, and I put it underneath the gate to pump it up, but it still needed a little bit more persuasion, so I was beating on it with some kind of thing. I was beating on it and making noise. Well, the neighbors across the street, they heard all this going on, called the cops. Within about, I don't know how long it was, but it was just a matter of 5 or 10 minutes fucking around with the gate. And 4 cars, they all came right up to me, all at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4 cop cars. 8 fucking policemen all jump out of their cars with their guns pointed at me. I kid you not, that's exactly what they did. And I had a hard job convincing them of who I was, how I was doing that. And I don't blame them for it. But they did make a little bit of a mess of my car because they wanted me to open the trunk and they wanted to look all over. And you saw my car, right, Steve? Do you remember my car? Yeah, well, that car, you don't fuck around with a nice car like that. But they ripped everything apart. They had all the plates, all the mats torn out and all the back of the trunk, everything out of my trunk and everything. I had an arc welder in the back of my trunk. They said, what are you doing with You know, I said, I was just came back from helping a friend with trucks and cars and trucks and trailers. You know, trying to explain to them what the fuck I was doing. I showed them my camper. They said, well, you're not staying here till home. So in the end, they didn't give me any charges or tickets or anything like that. But for the time being, you know, 10 or 15 minutes before this, I had all 8 of them guns drawn, pointed at me. Yeah, they don't fuck around, man. I don't blame them either. Because I've already told you time there was a policeman shot just on the other side of the house on the highway. A policeman shot somebody on the side of the road. He ended up shot to death right there on the side of the fucking highway. So I don't fucking blame them a bit for coming up to you with their gun pulled out. If I was a cop, that's exactly how I would approach you. I'd put my gun aiming at your head before I came up and asked what your name was. Man, they've got a tough job to do, man. They can't be sure. I know. Just that job that you're doing as security. It might not seem like much, but you're putting your fucking life on the line sometimes. There's some crazy fucking people out there, man. It could be. Darn right, it could. Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I wouldn't think less of you. I wouldn't belittle you if you didn't want to do that job. I wouldn't call you a cop-out or a baby or anything like that, because I really wouldn't want that job myself, even if I was a big guy like you. Yeah, just take it easy. Yeah, just take it easy. That shit, Steve.